What's up, everybody? We are live after the Cougars are down in Morgantown, 79-71. Tough Saturday afternoon action.
Ruins the weekend. Not only you bumbling your words, but a Cougar L.
I know I can't even talk because of this L. Yeah, tough, really tough one. I felt like from start to finish, it just never felt like we were going to get there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, we put this in the group chat. Like, for some reason, it just feels like people come out and punch it in the mouth. We even got a Tiki reference in there. Going, hey, I know. Someone texted us and said, hey, it'd be actually great to have a Tiki because he might punch someone in the face right at the beginning of the game.
He'd stand up for us. That is the negative.
I know.
Like the number one recruit. Like teams are always going to want to prove something against you.
Okay, so let's jump into it. Do you think that's more us than it is anyone else, though, or is that just our league? Is that just college basketball? Because I'm like, how would we have a bigger target than like Arizona or Houston or Kansas? I
think it's like a combination though too. It's also like not only is it the league, but it's also having AJ. Like, we've been in this league for 4 years now, 5 years, something like that. Teams weren't getting up to like punch us in the mouth when we had Ali Khalifa and like Foose. You know what I mean? Like our star players, I guess, were like Richie, and teams weren't coming out and like trying to punk us. So, and I feel like they try to do that with AJ, which is
we were a little bit the underdog, I'd say, in the first couple of years. You know, no, I mean, I don't even think that's not like any kind of a hot take, but it's like we were trying to just prove that we belonged. And that's why I thought, you know, Pope's first year in the Big 12. This is our third year, I think, right? Pope just had 1 year.
I think he had two, right? Oh, no, I think you're right. Just one.
I think he just had one, and he overperformed everyone's expectations and then dipped to Kentucky. But yeah, I feel like it was that year we were the ones surprising everyone. And then last year, again, you know, just because KY was new and it all happened so fast that we lost this momentum, and then we were surprising people again. But I think you're right. I think more than the last 2 years, certainly we have a bigger target. Because it just feels like we're getting bullied a little bit in these games.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard to see like half of ESPN's posts are about AJ, and you're like at West Virginia or whatever. You're like, I deserve that too. Like, we have a better record than them in league now, and like I'm averaging 15 on or Huff or whatever. He's averaging 16 points a game and like doing it himself. So I think a lot of people take it personally.
Are you worried at all, or have we've just done enough? Like, in my mind, you know, the last article I read was yesterday and was updated after our UCF game. Like, this is the beauty of being in the Big 12. You know, people ask me probably on a weekly basis, do I wish I was playing at BYU now? And the answer versus like years ago, and like it's yes and no, because obviously I love my time there, but like it's yes because of this factor that I'm about to say, which is, fortunately, your losses to, you know, West Virginia, who is 500 in league, is respected. And even though it sucks and we hate it, and we hate it and we feel sick about it and we didn't look great and, you know, blah, 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 blah. I get it. But, like, fortunately, like, there is no risk that we're not going to the tourney, right? Like, the article I read last night was like, we are a lock. I think we could even lose these last two and we're a lock. Also, because we still have AJ. They still want to see AJ. And we've done enough. We've shown enough with the team without Richie that I think, you know, in that Iowa State game and battling here today.
And that's the pro side of it. Like the negative is teams try to punch you in the mouth, but the pro side is you get tons of great non-conference games. Like, we got UConn because he's a Massachusetts kid that wants to, like, that's an awesome non-conference game and huge for our like resume. And ESPN wants to see him in the tournament. Like, it's hard. Like, I'm not a conspiracy guy, but like, there's got to be some like ratings factors considered. You don't want to include, you know, nobody just because they have the same record.
I agree.
What a blessing like the Big 12 is, though, in terms of like locking us in for the tournament. Because like without the Big 12, if we had the same record or similar, like if we had one of these mediocre kind of like lackadaisical games like we had against UCF, against Pepperdine or Pacific, it's like that's a quad 3 loss at home. Like, all right, you guys are probably out of it now. Like you were squarely on the bubble and now you're done with it. But because 100%. We had like a good non-con and then like we've won some big, like we got Iowa State, whereas our only opportunity was Gonzaga, and if you didn't get that one, it was like, all right, your quad 1 is out of the door.
I totally agree. I just think like, man, this league is just tough. It's just tough. Like you could see, I heard some stat that was like, there has not been a team that was above 500 in the Big 12 that hasn't gone to the tournament since like 2002 or 5 or something. Like it's been a long time, right? And I think we'll be, because that's at 8-8, right, today?
I think so. That's our. Let me look.
I mean, so we might be right at, because Tech is playing at a high level, dude. Or did that put us to 8-7?
8-7.
Put us at 8-8. I just refreshed. That put us at 8-8. Tech is playing at a high level, but it's at home. We surprised Iowa State at home. Cincinnati's is got some juice, got some momentum right now. So both are going to be tough. But like I saw a team in West Virginia that knew they've got 3 games. I don't know. We keep talking about like pros and cons. It's like the position we're in currently. We're in this limbo. I feel like mentality from like the players' effort and like togetherness, because we know we're going to the tournament too, right? Like the same thing that you and I are sure about, they're probably sure about too. Not to say that we don't go into every game trying to win, but I just saw West Virginia's like guys, in those huddles, and they were just like intense and focused to a
clawing,
level
like
that
they realize like this could be a win that jumps them over the bubble versus like us. This is a win that could help with our seeding, which is like it's almost like B tier in terms of like where priorities are. Like if you're out of the bubble, your number one priority is get back on the right side. Versus us, it's like, well, we're squarely in. It's just like this could help us get like a 6 seed instead of an 8 seed. It's hard. I don't know. It's just hard to like have that intensity at all times, especially like when you're reeling after losing arguably your second best player, maybe the most important player in terms of like your identity. So it's hard to like, I don't know, refocus yourself after having a loss that big and with Richie, and then also like having that big of a win against Iowa State and then that big of an L against UCF. Like it's just like a roller coaster, dude.
In your opinion, how does that? How do we pull that Iowa State game off? How do we look so good? Was kind of like an adrenaline. It's like they say like bears after they get shot have like 2 minutes of like crazy adrenaline, even though they're basically. Yeah, exactly. A mom lifting up a car, exactly. Like how did that happen? And then UCF, we looked abysmal, and today we just didn't have it. Again, everything is that we say on the show is always prefaced by these are not bad teams, right? Like West Virginia belongs in the tournament. UCF, I think, is pretty much a lock in the article that I read. Like these are tournament teams, they're good teams, but like how do we look so good against ISU and then so below average the last 2 games?
I think the coaches are asking the same thing. Like I think KY is like asking his staff, like, how did we just go from 40 minutes locked in defensively and offensively against a number, I guess, 4 team now in the country? They'll go down after the L or whatever yesterday, but I don't know. Like it's just you've got to do some soul searching, I guess. Like when we talked about the segments that might be coming up on the show, like the one word, my thought was like searching. Like we're searching for an identity. We're searching for like somebody to step up, and it's impossible to do it. Like I don't know, without getting the full results of the season. It's like hard to do it without knowing what's about to happen.
Yeah, I think what's hard to moving forward, like even into next year, which I'm very not like of that mentality that onto the next season. But like you mentioned Richie going down had a bigger impact, because I just saw the way we played against Iowa State, and I was like, hey, maybe it is addition by subtraction. Like it just kind of simplifies. It gives guys a chance to step up. Like not that Richie was the problem by any means, but maybe it locked people in. I take all that back. I don't feel that way whatsoever. But and especially don't feel that way because it does feel like there's a lack of experience. Kind of like our team that you and I were on together, right? Like I felt like losing LJ Rose and Kyle Davis was actually a bigger deal than anyone realized because they were the only true seniors. They were the only guys who had been around college basketball and had been in big games, won big games and meaningful games and in the tournament, gotten to the tournament, knows what it takes. And like we don't have that this year. How do we have it next year, right? Like or how do we ensure that we do? Because we're going to get. It looks like the crystal ball on that Branch kid is that we're going to get him, and I don't know, we welcome guys like that, right? I've seen his highlights; he looks awesome, and we're grabbing him from other Big Time schools. But like, where's our Richie next year? You know what I mean? Like a little bit. I think that leadership is standing out a little bit. Hopefully, there's some continuity with Rob. I guess Rob would be third-year guy in college, second year at BYU.
And we do have dudes on the bench that like got hurt this year that could step up too.
True,
like,
Dawson.
I think Nate
That's true.
Dawson be a good one. I think Dawson coming back obviously will be big. I think KJ Perry's like a really good scorer. Like we have dudes. It's just do you trust the vision that KY has? Which I think both of us agree. Yes, like that dude knows ball. It's just I don't know. It's hard to swallow when you lose to West Virginia and like. Being 100% like I have 100% faith in everything that he's doing. You know what I mean? Even though I do, it's just hard to say it right now because we just got punched in the mouth.
I mean, on that note, I've thought about, people talk to me about BYU hoops all the time. So I feel like I'm thinking about it probably more than I should, but I do feel like next year emphasis will be finding older guys, but it's like this is everybody's playbook, you know what I mean? But we are BYU. We do have a big brand. We do have money backing us. We're in a good league, so I do think that like us going after someone, of this type and trying to fix these things is going to be done a little bit more effectively than other schools. But like, gotta find experience and leadership. Our defense,
shooters.
Our defense is our problem right now, and shooting, like shooting / bigs. They're like 3A and 3B. Like, I mean, that's a lot of stuff, but like, I just feel like we need like some big suckers down there.
But it shows that we have flaws. Like we're not the same team we were at the beginning of the year when we had everybody. Like we have flaws and people are exploiting them, and it's just kind of the way it is.
Silver lining, talking about. Go ahead.
I got a question for you. So Texas Tech. They had something similar happen, right? JT Toppin tears his ACL. Right. He's done for the year against Arizona State. Similar to like Richie, he does it against kind of a lower tier team in the Big 12 against Colorado. Yep. They end up losing to Arizona State. We beat Colorado in overtime. But since then, like Texas Tech has responded. Like dudes have stepped up. Like what? I wonder, like, how can you have two totally different like scenarios when you lose equally important people?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about that because Texas Tech is winning big games and feels like they're still in a very similar boat. Whereas we've had a tough go ever since Richie went down.
And do you both have an Iowa State
win? An opinion?
So we both beat Iowa State. So like take that out of the equation. But like they housed Kansas State, which I like. Kansas State's a bad team. Like just fired their coach. They're a bad team. I don't know if we beat them by 28, but they did. Right. I don't know if we beat Cincinnati by 12, which they did. Like it's just I don't know. It's just frustrating to see like other teams have something similar happen, but it's like they are on a totally different trajectory. Like Texas Tech, their ranking at least, they'll probably be better than what they were when they lost JT Toppin. It's not to say that they're the same team or as good of a team, but
there's a couple things. One, and I don't know which one is more correct. One, in favor of benefit of the doubt to BYU, is Richie was the last of many, right? Like kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. But like, Dawson being down killed us. Nate being down killed us. I think Brody Kozlowski, like just depth is not even just for minutes in the game, but it's like it's good for practice reps. You know what I mean? Like everything adds up, you know, everything adds to the competitive nature of a team and the locker room and the togetherness and the depth. So I think in BYU's favor, it's that. Against BYU, not giving them the benefit of the doubt, I feel like we seem emotionless. You know what I mean? Like Colorado, we felt okay because I don't think guys knew what was going on. Then we responded awesome Iowa State. And then the last two games, it just felt like, I don't want to say guys don't care because I'm not in their heads. I don't know. But it feels passionless. It feels like they're not having any fun. You know what I mean? Like
that's why I feel like searching, like they're searching for like emotion or like somebody like tell them what to do almost. And it's like, it's really hard because coaches can tell you, but you got to find it yourself. You got to find your role yourself. You got to find like that edge yourself. And it's so hard to do when you lose somebody that big, that late.
It's a great question though. It's a great question. I'm going to ask you one more question, then we're going to do comments, and then we'll probably get out of here. I know people don't want to chat forever.
I do have a question for you though, about our roster.
All right, you go, then I go, then we'll go comments.
Okay. What can we do about our bigs? Like you're big, you're an all-time BYU big. How do we solve this? Like I'll read our stat lines here. Okay, so Bosco, 12 minutes, 0 points, 2 rebounds, 1 foul. Keba, 23 minutes, 9 points. He actually kind of picked it up late. 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 5 fouls. Boop, 10 minutes, 0 points, 2 rebounds, 1 turnover, 2 fouls. Ahmed, 8 minutes, 0 points, 2 rebounds, nothing else. It's just like the offense isn't centered around them, so I don't think they have a ton of like impact scoring wise. But you'd think like with the number of playmakers and like score finishers, they would at least have a bunch of rebounds or like something. And I just have nothing to like look at. Like, oh, look what they did.
The rebounds are puzzling, especially for a guy like Boop who like will come in, play 10 minutes, get 10 boards, right? I think it's a combination of a couple things. I think it's personnel, not just bigs. You know, so 2 factors. One, I think I talked about it on this show, maybe somewhere else, but like I'm convinced that if you go look at European teams that win things that matter. So, you know, in league championships, European championships, you know, in season tournaments, like their point guards are probably going to be like always top 3 in assists in the league. Like usually 1 or 2, right? Like you go find these guys and they're usually undersized. They usually play on the same Johnny Linehan. You know what I mean? Like Coach Linehan, like I don't know what his assists were like, but he won a lot of stuff. He was probably up there. You know what I mean? Like they always find a guy.
He's a dog defensively.
Yes, they always get a guy who is a dog who leads the league in assists and just gets everybody else to their spots. But then, you know, if you go under the screen, they're going to hit 3. Like if you switch onto them with a big, they're going to take them and go get a layup, right? Like obviously capable, but very, very much pass first point guard, like not playmakers, point guard. So I think that helps. I think Jaeger and Dallin are why Keba had such a successful last year, right? And Foose had such a great last year. So I think it starts with what kind of point guard do we have? I also feel like it's a little crowded. Like these guys don't know their role. Like last year, it was simple. It was Keba's going in when their other athletic guys go in, and Foose is going in to bang, and it's like 20 minutes. They know their roles. They know why they're in there. There was depth.
Foose was also like a safety valve. Like it was like
100%.
All right, late shock. Guys like Jaeger's tired. All right, let's just throw this ball in. Let him do a little big shoulder jump hook. Like we'll get 10 points, 12 points out of him for sure. A few offensive rebounds, like, but we'll get our guys a break because imagine if we had Foose on this team, like AJ, just take a breather for a sec, like just lock in defensively, throw the ball in a Foose. We can all chill out. Rob, same thing.
Automatic offense.
Get your legs back. Yeah. It'd be huge. That's what I think is like our number one priority. Like honestly, I feel like big
scoring,
like scoring
post
big
scoring.
Yeah.
I could see that. I just think like we need a guard who's going to make it really easy for him. But then also last year, it just felt like roles weren't like defined. It wasn't like, hey, these, this guy plays this many minutes and we always do this. But it did feel like the players knew what was expected of them. And when they, like, I bet towards the end of the season, Boscovich knew exactly when he was going to go in. Moose knew exactly when he was going to go in. Dallin knew exactly when he was going to go in and what was expected of them. And
he does have that like sub sheet, like KY does have that, like, all right, at 25 minutes, we're going to try to sub this in. Obviously he tinkers with it. Like if AJ just banged 4 threes and a half, he's probably not going to take him out, unless he needs a breather, but he does. Like,
I bet
I'm sure he still does it.
Like
it's
this,
just, I don't know.
All right. My last question. I think it's a question. Did I answer it? Does that give you something to chew on?
Yeah, the answer was almost like we don't really have an answer. Like it's probably too late to like turn any of these guys into like a post score. No. Obviously, it would just be nice to get like some type of production, and I think that would go such a long way. I think you got to have a post score before you have a pass first point guard. Plus, also, I'm sure one of these top elite European guards is like a lot of money, and we obviously spent a lot of money elsewhere.
No, I don't mean like literally go get a European point guard. I'm just saying like the way that winning teams overseas win, and that's how you have to model teams, not after NBA teams. I think it's go get a point guard. American, European, doesn't matter. And yeah, I know we spent money elsewhere, but like that's where I want to spend money next year. I think, you could make a case that you got to go get a scoring big first, but I don't think bigs go places that they can't be fed. Like I told TJ this, and who knows, maybe it was just coaches and GMs blowing smoke, but multiple times I had coaches that were recruiting me and GMs that were recruiting me over there. Hey, we have this point guard. Like that's like they went and got that point guard. Then they're like, all right, now we want you. Like this guy's going to give you what you want. So I don't know anything, but yeah, I agree. All right, let's jump into these comments. Okay, you have 1 minute to answer this question, and then we got to jump in because we want to be quick. Silver lining: are you buying stock in Kostic a little bit? We like the confidence.
Yeah, I mean, hell of a shooter. Like he's definitely like finding his role. Those first few games that he was with us after like the midwinter edition, he was obviously finding himself and like we talked about finding a role. He's clearly finding a role as like the shooter on the team, which is good. He's got to improve defensively and like being a threat besides just a shooter. But yeah, I'd buy stock in him. Like he's improving and he's still so young. So why wouldn't I?
Yeah, I agree. All right, beautiful. All right, why don't you take this first one? You're on a roll. You were also on this team.
This dude just came for the jugular right out the gate. Okay, honest question: bro. What feels worse, being down 40 to San Diego in the WCC tourney when we only paid for Knicks, BW, and Disneyland trip, or being down by 37 to UCF when we paid $15 million?
This is so many layers. It's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I personally was involved in that San Diego one, so I'd say that one felt a lot worse.
Was that
at
after
some point? I think after? Sorry, am I bugging? I was involved in that San Diego one. I would say that one feels worse than the UCF one, just because I'm separated from it now. But it doesn't mean it hurts any less if you're actually like playing in it.
Yeah, they both hurt. Conference tournament really hurts. Doesn't matter if it's San Diego, doesn't matter the score. It just sucks getting booted when that's your only chance to get to the tournament. So I'd say that one hurts more because the UCF blowout at home, although it hurts and it costs us a ton of money, it does not cost us the tournament. So
that's true. We still get to play.
Yeah. BYU is a lock in the tourney, which I think I guess maybe if we lost by 40 the next two games and then we lose first round of the Big 12. But even then, I just think this is where we're fortunate to have AJ, like in a bit of a show. Like people still see us as dangerous because we just beat Iowa State 2 games ago. You know what I mean? So
I mean, we have good wins.
Yeah,
we're
100%.
trending down, obviously, after losing one of our best players. But like, we still beat Wisconsin, we still beat Villanova, we still beat Iowa State. Tons of 7 other wins in the Big 12. Like, they're still good wins.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think this guy knows how the seeding works. You can't be a 16 seed as at large, but whatever.
That's right. That's all right. All right, you take this one. This has been the question every week with me and TJ. What do we have to do with what we have, right? We're not going and grabbing somebody in the portal. We're not going to have Ahmed start shooting pick and pop threes. Like, we have what we have. What do we do to win the last 2 games, in your opinion?
I think Moo Davis for me is like the one of the bigger impacts. Like seeing him aggressive late against West Virginia just a second ago, like it totally changed the dynamic of the game. Gave like Rob a breather, AJ a breather, who we know can be aggressive. But seeing him aggressive too is big. Kostic keep banging threes and being average defensively at least. AJ is obviously the drink stirrer though. Like if he can be 40 minutes locked in. Offensive, defensive, gives us a good chance at least. I mean, clearly we can be the number 4 team in the country if we have him being at his best. But if he's not, those other guys got to step up. And easier said than done.
I agree. Two things I'd get back on. We can't get dominated rebounding. 29-39 can't happen. That's kind of ties to what you were talking about earlier with the bigs. And then our assisted turnovers, it's like, come on, we got to take care of the ball. Like, I mean, what were we? We were 10 assists, a couple of them late, really. 12 turnovers, whereas we're 17.
That last turnover, too, when we're down 3, we turn them over, fast break, and it goes to Kostic. Like, I don't think it was meant for Kostic, but, that was just a backbreaker. You know how
that hurts.
Okay, when we played Kansas, KY was like the best player on the floor tonight was Richie Saunders. Darren Peterson and AJ were the talk, right? But Richie was the best player. That's how I felt about like Lorient from West Virginia. Like he had like 8 offensive rebounds, 18 points, banged a clutch 3 late. Like he was the best player on the floor. Obviously, AJ's a better pro prospect, but like he impacted the game the most with like a limited amount of shots and a limited amount of minutes. And he still looked like he was the best player, like most valuable player on the floor.
Yes. And who are those guys? Well, I don't know what a ton about Lorient numbers. He's a senior. This is what we're talking about for next year, right? Like, what is Richie? He's an experienced guy. He's a super senior. The mission, obviously. Lorient. So like that. I want some guys that I don't know that have been around that have done it. All right, let's see.
It's so hard to like. Obviously, if you get the number 1 recruit after you put in all this effort to get him, you take him though, even if he is 18. Like this season is no indictment on AJ. Like he's done incredible. Like he might be player of the year. Like it's just how do we surround him with more age and more toughness?
Yeah, that's everyone's secret sauce though. All right.
Okay. Going to what you said though about getting older. I remember year after I was done as a GA, and Feger came up to me after when he was still at BYU, and he coached Feger, the assistant coach, and he was like, man, we committed the cardinal sin. Like we got younger. Instead of getting older, we got younger. It was after like a bad loss to somebody. And I remember thinking like, I don't know if that's true. Like, it doesn't matter if they're a sophomore or senior, but like, I think this season just proves it. Like having a senior, just like the little things, like the hustle, the offensive rebounding, knowing like people's tendencies and game plans and like keeping other people in line. It's a lot of stuff that like isn't tangible that like you can't measure.
Well, it's that turnover tonight, right? Not to say that with age comes perfection, right? But like I bet I can't remember who passed it to Kostic. Like if it's all a bunch of older guys, like they don't pass it to Kostic, you know what I mean? And the guy that catches it that's in Kostic's position, like probably doesn't dribble it aware of people behind him, you know what I mean? Like it just like the older you get, the more experience you rack up. Like it is incalculably, is that a word? Just
incalculable.
Yeah, there you go. I tried to make it an adverb. All right. This is the last one. I think, nightcap, even though it's the afternoon. Well, it's the evening. They allow 16 more points per game in conference play compared to last year, right? Like, I think, again, that's experience. I think that's health. I think that's roles and confidence. I mean, you had guys coming off the bench earning their minutes, like just as defenders between Mag and Trey. And I and I feel like Kaba was able to just focus on that. I don't know if he feels like he needs to produce more offensively this year, which he doesn't, but like, I don't know. Like we locked it in last year and grinded games out that we're losing this year. And overarching theme, and where I'll finish this, and then I'll get your closing thoughts, is I do think KY is very smart. I think he's I think he's like egotistical, like, well, I do my way and that always wins. I know that from what I know about him and his staff, I know they're going to take notes and they're going to be better next year. They're going to respond. They're going to put the injuries behind them and say, hey, even with all the injuries and the bad luck, like, what can we do better to become bulletproof next year? So I'm confident in that. And I just hope we play hard the next couple games and give Cougar Nation a good show. That's all I care about.
Agreed. I think part of it's roster makeup too. Like, I think we tried to build a roster to outscore teams, not necessarily to hold them to less points than us. Whereas last year we had guys that were literally just in there as 3-and-D guys, which is rare in college. But like Mag was a 3-and-D guy. Like he just banged corner threes and locked down the other team's best offensive player. Trey only really got minutes because he could lock in and then he'd bang a couple threes. Like that was, and we don't really have that. And it's hard to compare year over year, but like, I mean, the roster is so different that we got to figure out different ways to win. And I know KY is a great coach and his staff is a great staff. So they'll figure out a way to do it, especially when it comes into crunch time, when, scheme is like limited, when you only get 1 day of rest and stuff. Like, I actually think that could be to our advantage. Like we have dudes that know ball and we have guys that can go off for 40 any given night. So I think that's our advantage come March.
I agree. We just gotta be tough for the next 2 games. Like that's it. Like, be the aggressor. At some point last year, when I feel like it started to change, I remember having multiple conversations with people like, I just want us to like foul out, get techs, get flagrants. Like, I want Trev and Mag and Foose and Kaba and everyone to start getting, and Trey, get in people's faces. And we did, and we won. You know what I mean? Like, that's almost all it takes. So hopefully we come out with that fight the last 2 games. I'm sure that'll be circled on the whiteboard, and see if we can at least split them. But all right, well, thanks for joining, Evan. Thank you, Cougar Nation, for being here. I know we're disappointed, but I think I don't know. I think we're gonna be all right. We're gonna get to the tournament, and let's just surprise some people. It's hard.
It's hard to be optimistic after that, but I think that's our only option.
That's all we have. That's all we have is our optimism, right? All right. Well, thanks, Ev, for being here. We'll catch you guys after